my lovelies, how are you doing? I hope I'm catching you doing okay. And if you're not, may the Almighty God help you go through whatever you're going through, and I'll be glad to hear from you in the comment section down below. My name is Lynn, and this is Lynn Zab's World, and I share inspirational videos, cooking, traveling, anything that makes me human, basically. And I'm so glad and happy that you're part of my world. I am sitting right in my small, cozy living room, and I am in Uganda right now. If it's your first time to see me, please make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that every time I post a video, you get to see it and enjoy all the goodies that I have to post for you guys. And if you're my returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. So this video might be a bit chaotic because there's a lot of noise coming from my chicken coop. The hens are making a lot of noise. I think after they lay eggs, they make some noise. And then I have a school just on the other hand, so bear with your girl, yeah? Okay, so today's video is from a subscriber of mine who sent me an email, which was a long email, but I'm going to select just this particular last line because it's what is most important and relevant to all of us, and that's why I'm responding to this particular email on video or on camera, because I know most of you could be having the very same question. So I'm sorry if my introduction is a little bit long, but bear with me, yeah? So the email goes, that is all covered. The point is, particularly in this moment in time, I want to ask you on how you made your loft house. Is it concrete made loft, slab, or improvised with mere timber, or with something else like metal? I hope you understand my question. I'm not going to disclose your name or the rest of the email because I believe it's personal, but I read out this out loud because I think it is important for all of us on how I made my loft house to save money. Yeah. So, like I told you, and I've always told you about the story of my loft house, it wasn't initially a loft plan. Yeah, I had a plan for an actual loft house, like a bigger 2-room loft house. But when I took it to the municipal, which is responsible for accepting plans, they charged me a lot of money. So I thought to myself, I can't afford this, but I want to build a house so bad. So what I did, I came back and I paid for a small house for 1 room. I hope you follow clearly. Please make sure you follow. Please make sure you're following. And today I'm seated down. That's why I'm... So anyway, the thing is, I made plan for 1 house and got material for 1 house, okay? So when I made oh God, the kids are shouting and they're putting me off topic. It's weird, guys. And this is the time I felt in good moods to make this video and to respond. But anyway, I think they've kind of calmed down. So the plan was initially to have 1 room. Oh, there they go again. Okay. Anyway, I had to pause for a bit until the noises reduced, but here's the thing. I made the plan for just 1 single room. So the plan was I get 1 single room and build it well and put all my belongings in there, because like I said, I did not have a home until this one. Yeah. So I made sure that I come up with just 1 room. And then when they measured the first the normal standard Ugandan room. I was like, but wait, I have so many things. I have so many belongings, and this is my land. No, I want something bigger, at least where I can put a small kitchen, and I shouldn't live in a container simply because I don't have money. So we came up with a bigger room. So once they were doing a bigger room, this part here was supposed to be a balcony. And then because it was supposed to be a balcony, I thought to myself, who needs a balcony? I can always improvise for the balcony, and I need more space instead of the balcony. So I instructed the builders to change the plan. So the plan kept on changing depending on what I had in mind. Oh my God. Yeah, so the plan kept changing according to how I was feeling according to that particular time. Now, when we got to this point, that's when the slab came in. And because the room became bigger, that's why they decided to put pillars, the pillars, but there was no metal throughout. There was no metal. But they said, since the house is going to be bigger than the normal room, and you need a high roof, because that was already in plan. I needed a high roof. They said, you need to put pillars to support the house for it to be stronger. I was like, okay, cool, sawa. So they put pillars throughout the house to make it stronger, and the pillars used to be really strong. And then the front of the house was built, how do you call it, 6x6? Normally they lay the bricks like this, but at the front they were laying the bricks like horizontally so that they'd be stronger. So when we got to the, to the slab part, I don't know the term, where they're supposed to put a beam. It's called a beam, yeah. When we got to the beam section, I thought to myself, what if I asked my engineer if the building was strong enough to put a small loft place where I can put my bed? And he said, yeah, sure, it's very possible. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I think that's what you should do. So then that's where the metal came in. That's when I bought the timber, but the timber was to support the slab. So I bought the metals, I bought iron bars and stones to make concrete. So this particular part is with concrete, okay? So that means there is metal in there. So because it was going to be strong and I wanted it to be long lasting, I didn't want something that makes noise once you move on it. When you use metal, sometimes it can make a bit of noise, so somebody can hear when you're moving up, or you get what I'm trying to mean. So I wanted something a bit permanent and a bit, strong, since the house was going to be very long. So then that's the point they used the concrete. I hope you're following and I hope you're loving the video, yeah? Yes. So when we got to that point, that's when they put the slab, that's when they put the beam, and yeah, we have a loft house. But here is where the metal part came in. So because I told them to put a loft house that can fit a bed, I think they measured the bed according to what they are used to, but my bed is a bit bigger. It's a king size bed. So they were wondering how I can have a king size bed. Actually, my bed is queen size, but my dream is to have a king size bed. My dream is to have a king size bed, but for now I have a queen size bed. But it's still bigger. You understand, it's bigger compared to a 5x6 or a 4x. You understand? So they put the slab there. But the thing is, at that point we had a bit of disagreements, and then my money wasn't really enough. So we had disagreements, and I was like, you know what, let me go and get some money. Then I come back, and by the time I came back, they had already laid the foundation for the slab, the concrete, And I asked them to change it, and it was a whole full-blown disagreement. We had to fight. Guys, building is not for the weak. Like, especially if it's your first time, it's very hectic. So by the time I came back, what was done was already done, and it couldn't be undone, because if it was going to be undone, then it means I would have to spend more money to correct that mistake, which money I did not have at that particular time. So I let it be, and time came, I moved in, and I realized that I'm gonna fall off if I don't do something. I realized that I was going to fall off the bed if I didn't do something, really. So that's the point where the metal, this metal that you see, came in. Initially, the plan was to make the glasses a little bit low so that I can enjoy the view freely from up on my bed. But then I realized I travel a lot for videos and for my personal traveling, you know, and I would want to leave my home secure and safe for when I return. You know, there are some things that you want to keep private in your bedroom. And I realized somebody could just get a ladder and fall in, you know. So I decided to go with full glass. So this metallic part, the metallic part that you see, is actually an extension to correct the mistake of the small space that was created. Are we together? Are we on the same page? Yeah. So basically, that's how the whole thing came. And then the high ceiling that you see, I wanted it to be a little bit, yes, high, but not as high as it is. But anyway, it is what it is now, and I'm enjoying it. The people who built this house are like 3 people, because I kept changing depending on the kind of relationship I had with each particular builder, until I got the one that I have now, that I would call for any technical problem on the house. In fact, he's the one who helped me make this extension like this, because I thought I needed to get more concrete to make it stronger, and he was like, no, you can get metal and then design it like this, and after you design it like this, then we can put a little bit of concrete on the metal, and then we can put tiles on top of that. So I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I know it's looking beautiful so far. And I know you can agree. If you agree, in the comment section, let me know. So yeah, basically that's it. This is a proper house. It's not, I didn't use any wood. The only time I used wood was to support the material that was going to make a slab or concrete or something like that. And it goes for the same in the kitchen. If you ask me how much money I have spent so far on this loft house, I don't know, but I can say the list is about 30 million shillings. But like I always tell you, it could be cheaper or even more expensive, depending on your experience and depending on who is doing it for you. In my own opinion, with 35 million, everything could be done. But because I got cheated, because I didn't know what I was doing, because people didn't know what I was trying to explain to them, so we ended up clashing all the damn time. Like, I want to do this, no, do that, this. And people didn't understand the concept really. Like, I know there is not so many loft houses in Uganda, so definitely that means fewer contractors or fewer builders know about this kind of technique of building. And when I mentioned what I want, they were all looking at me like I'm mad, or I didn't know what I was talking about. So it was a hurdle. It was a hard thing, like, to express what I want. So even these stairs that you see here, I did not want them here. I wanted them around here in the living room, like here, because then it would make me have more space here. But the guy was so stubborn, like very stubborn, and it usually could take just a snap and he would do whatever he wanted, until I was like, you know what, get out of here. Yeah, but I can tell that he did one thing that I'm so grateful about the builder that started my house, is the way he laid my foundation. And the fact that he put 2 polythene bags, you know those bags, the black bags that they put to prevent water from coming from down to up. Yeah, so he put 2 of them, which is very good for the house, and that means the water will not disturb the house that much. So yeah, I don't know if I've answered your questions well, or if are you satisfied with the answer? If yes, please let me know in the comment section or get back to me in the email. I'll be glad to hear from you again. And I guess I want to remind you that if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And if you need more videos about the house, if you have questions about my loft house, if you have, please let me know. I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. And I want to encourage anyone who wants to build that please start with any money you have, as long as you have land. You know, land is the most important aspect of the building, because once you have land, everything else becomes easier and is easy to go. So yeah, did I use metal? Yes, I used metal for only a specific place, which you can clearly see. Did I use slab? Yes, I did use a slab on the left side. And in the living room, it's just 2 pillars holding a very strong building. And then on the front, it's just horizontal bricks. I think those were your questions. Yeah, I did not use any wood, but it is also an option if you know wood that is very, very nice. And usually it's going to be even more expensive than a slab. If you want to use wood, yes, you can use wood, but long-lasting wood is very expensive, so you make the choices really. So other than that, I hope you enjoyed this section or segment about me and my loft house. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Bye. Thank you.